I wasn't gonna wait before I put a plan in place. I'll be hosting a game in this suite every Tuesday night.
Let's play.
Tone it down. The big players don't like fast hands. Sarcastic dealing. Cool. First buy-in, 250,000.
That's gonna make noise.
I was the biggest game runner in the world.
Welcome to Kermode Uncut. There's a new Jessica Chastain film in UK cinemas called Molly's Game, directed by Aaron Sorkin. Until now he's been known as a writer, but now a writer and director. And it's a really interesting film with a powerhouse performance by Jessica Chastain. Now, Jessica Chastain has had an extraordinarily diverse film career. Her films have included Take Shelter, Tree of Life, Wild Salome, Coriolanus, Miss Sloane, The Debt. She was Oscar nominated as Best Supporting Actress for The Help. She was Oscar nominated as Best Actress for Zero Dark 30, for which she also won a Golden Globe. So I thought, what better time than now to give you my top 5 Jessica Chastain films. So at number 5, Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. Now, I know some people think that Interstellar is a bit of a technical exercise. I think it's much more than that. I think it's a film with real heart and soul. And at the centre of it is a father-daughter relationship between Cooper, played by Matthew McConaughey, and his daughter, played by 3 separate actors, Mackenzie Foy, Ellen Burstyn, and in the middle, crucially, Jessica Chastain. For me, that relationship is the thing that holds Interstellar together. I mean, yes, the visuals are astonishing. Yes, if you see it on a really big screen, it's going to be an overwhelming sensory experience. But it wouldn't work if you didn't believe in that central relationship. And I think Jessica Chastain is one of the things that gives it that real grounding. Yes, it's a story set in outer space, but she keeps it down to earth. On to number 4, and perhaps a controversial choice, Zero Dark 30. Now, the fact is, Zero Dark 30 was never going to get a fair hearing ever since Naomi Wolf compared director Kathryn Bigelow to Leni Riefenstahl, saying that she thought that Zero Dark 30 was some kind of advert for torture, that somehow it supported harsh tactics. If you've actually watched the film, you know that's not true. The torture that is dramatised in the film doesn't actually produce any useful information, but it didn't matter. And what's got lost in all this is that film features not one but 2 great performances, one by Jennifer Ehle, a sort of supporting role, but at the centre of it, Jessica Chastain. She, once again, is the heart of the drama. If you look at that film as a piece of drama, it's brilliantly constructed. Kathryn Bigelow directs it terrifically well, and Jessica Chastain really holds it together. And if you try and put the controversy aside, it looks even better, and if you analyse the controversy, it turns out it's all nonsense. On to number 3, and I'm delighted that director Guillermo del Toro is in there, Crimson Peak. I love Crimson Peak. Again, it kind of divided critics. I thought it was a really terrific theatrical gothic, again with heart and soul, had lots of underlying themes, all the stuff that you would expect from Guillermo del Toro. And right in the middle of it is Jessica Chastain, playing a role which is essentially a cross between Judith Anderson's Mrs. Danvers from Hitchcock's Rebecca and Eva Green's Angelique Bouchard from Tim Burton's Dark Shadows. And she is really enjoying the hell out of it. On to number 2 in my list of the top 5 Jessica Chastain movies, and many of you won't have seen this yet because it's only just out, but I advise you to see it, Molly's Game. Now, Molly's Game is absolutely an Aaron Sorkin film. I mean, he's written it, he's directing it, and it has that Aaron Sorkin thing of everybody talking 20 to the dozen. There are scenes in that film in which we have Jessica Chastain and Idris Elba as her lawyer, and they are arguing the legality of the unfolding case, and it's really sort of rapid-fire dialogue, very, very hard stuff to do, even harder to do convincingly. And somehow, both actors managed to rise to the challenge and turn this into something which is more than just a radio play. It's a very wordy film. There's lots of narration, there's lots of voiceover, and there is lots of verbal sparring. But Jessica Chastain is absolutely up to the challenge, and she nails it note perfect. Which brings me to the number 1 spot, my favourite Jessica Chastain movie, and it is, of course, J.C. Chandler's A Most Violent Year. Now, it's essentially a sort of latter-day crime thriller, but all the way through it, Jessica Chastain is effectively doing a version of Lady Macbeth. I mean, it's a really Shakespearean drama, and she is really getting into that character in a way you can just imagine her talking her husband into killing the king because, hey, what choice have you got? There is a marvellous moment in which she explains to her husband, played by Oscar Isaac rather brilliantly, that he has to sort out the stuff that's going on. And if he doesn't sort it out, she'll get involved. And as she says, you're not going to like what will happen if I get involved. Ooh. So there we are, my top 5 Jessica Chastain movies. Molly's Game is in UK cinemas now. Do go and see it. It's really interesting, not least for Jessica Chastain's brilliant performance. And let me know which are the ones that I've left out. What's your favourite Chastain cinema moment?